Now we are going to discuss about ADB command. ADB is one of the most important command available in Android. Using this command, you can install packages, you can uninstall packages, you can stop packages running on your emulator as well as on your mobile phone, which is connected to the laptop using USB connections. As we have studied in the lecture, ADB connects with the device using TCP and using a port number 5037. Let's see how to run these commands and let's practice them. If you go to the place where you have extracted your Eclipse, in my case it is under this folder, go to SDK folder, go into Tools folder, you will find a text file called ADB has moved. Initially, ADB command was available under Tools folder, now they are moved into Platform-Tools folder. So you go to SDK back, go to Platforms-Tools, you will find the ADB here. ADB.exe runs from here. So let's open a command prompt. And let's go to that folder. Let's open a new command prompt here. Go to D drive. It's under my Buhari software ADT. I've added 2 levels of ADT /SDK /platform tools. And this, if you see, you have the ADB command here, adb.exe. So let's run this program, this command, and learn few things. Let's see whether we are connected to any device or not. So let's put ADB devices. This tells you I am connected to an emulator and this is the name given to the emulator and it's just a device. Okay, so you can learn about these things here. Let's talk about installing a package into the emulator. So let's go to the emulator here. Let's see what are the packages that are installed here. So there are plenty of packages installed. As an example, I'm going to take BAAD038. So I'm going to uninstall this package, okay, straight using normal emulator. So let's see how. Go to that. You have to go into settings. Let's wipe the screen again. Go into the settings somewhere. So here is the settings. Go into settings. Let's go into app here. Scroll down, go into apps. So let's go into BAD038. So click on it and let's uninstall it now. Okay, uninstall. So I'm uninstalling it using the emulator directly. Now I'm going to install the same package using commands and show you how to run, how to stop, and so on and so forth. So let's close back. So let's go back to the main screen there, home screen there. So to install, you have to put ADB install and you need to find out where is this APK file. To find your APK file, go to your folder where you have these things installed. Like in my case, I do have all these files under my Buhari courses, CPIT 490 practice. So you'll find here I have the BAD038 activity. Go into the bin folder, you'll find the APK file. So you can use this file. How to generate APK file? You can do it using Eclipse. If you go into Eclipse, go here and click on run. Okay, you can click on run here or click on run here. This icon here, it will generate the APK file. But if you want to do that in command, you can do that also. We'll discuss the basic steps later on. So let's go back here. We have that package. Let's reach that folder first. Buhari courses. CPIT 490. I'm actually pressing the tab to complete. Okay, so practice BAD. We are looking at 38. Go to bin BAD. This is our APK file. So let's keep our emulator open. Let's try to install it here. So it is transferring the file. It has transferred the file there, and it is loaded into a folder, data loaded, and so on. So now it is installed into the emulator. Okay, now let's go back to the same spot. Go down here. Let's see whether BAD038. I'm just wiping the screen. You will find 038 is here. It was not here before. Okay, so this is how you can install it from the command. Okay, if suppose I want to start it, I want to start the application on my mobile phone. Okay, I have already installed, but it's not started. Let me run it. To run, I have to issue this command, which is adb shell am and then you have to say AM means activity manager, and you will say start, and then you will say the package name. You got to say the package name as well as the actual file name. So our package name is net.lan2. If you don't know, you can check it up. Go to the program here, go down. This is under source src folder. You'll find the file here. This is actually the package name, so you can find it here also. Let's just write copy and paste it there. So let's copy. You can go to your command prompt, just paste it here, right click and paste, put a slash again. Okay, so you will need to put the slash, this one here, sorry, then put paste again. Now you got to write your class name. So class name is basically this name here. I just copy it, go down here to the prompt and put your paste here, and then press enter. So now if you see, I'm running it, it should run my application there. So you can see I've started running my application. Now application is running, it is not closed there, it is still open. So if I want to stop my application, okay, I can stop it like this. Just go and remove all this. Just put the package name. And here you need to write shell PM, okay. And then you have to say clear. Let's remove all this. Right, so if you go down here to my screen, okay, you should now kill my application. See, it's closed now. Okay, the application has been removed, but it is not uninstalled, it's just closed. So let's say I want to uninstall my application, then I can do that also using this command here. Okay, so you can use commands to install, you can use commands to uninstall, and so on. These are options you have. Like, let's try to uninstall the package we did install. ADB shell am start -a, put android dot intent dot action dot delete. Then you have to specify your actual package name. So you have to put -d package colon, then your package name, which in our case is this. This is our package name. Sorry, this is not the package, this is the class name. So net dot learn to develop dot BAAD 038 activity 101, this activity. So you can see I'm doing this. So you will find it says, do you want to uninstall? I say okay, it's uninstalled now. Okay, we can actually do all this from the command itself. So that is the advantage of doing this. Sometimes if your emulator crashes, it doesn't work properly, you can do using commands. There's one more thing you can do. You can also run a logcat just to see what's happening. Logcat. So ADB logcat, and you can say here colon s activity, which can be for, you want to look for any activity that's happening there. So if I go down here and just start some application, nothing comes up right now. So let's see, adb -e logcat. So you can see this is -e for the emulator. If you use -d, this is for a device which is connected using USB to your laptop. So if you want to see all the options, you can just type adb and press enter. So there are lots of options here which you can try. If I put adb shell, you will be surprised. It will look like as if I'm on a command prompt on a Linux platform. So I can type in ls, for example. Okay, I can go into a folder, like whatever I do in Linux, I can do basic things here because Android is based on Linux platform. So you can issue your commands up there. You can also check what is the SQLite is running or not, all these things from that command shell, which is adb shell. So now we have seen the shell. Now let's look at some few other things right now. You can also look for, you can list the various targets using Android command. So how to do it? Let's go back here. If you go to that platforms folder, let's go back here. Let's go to that software, ADT, SDK. If you go to tools, you find the command Android. So we need to go to the tools folder. Okay, I'm trying to find whether I have a tools folder. I don't, so let me just go to that folder here. Go double back, SDK, sorry, one, you can go there straight. You go here, you have a command called Android. So Android, if I put list and then I issue the command, okay, targets, it will give me what are the targets I have. So this is nothing but gives me two entries here. It gives me the targets, 1, 2, 3 entries here. If I go to my emulator, go to the window, go to Android Virtual Device Manager, you see these are the entries. These are the entries it is actually showing me in my command prompt. If you go down here, you will find this is the one, okay, this one's and the Google one, whichever I'm supporting, it is showing me there. So you can check what are the device emulators you have. You can start your emulator also here. Straight away under tools folder, if you see there's a command called emulator, which will start the emulator. Emulator.exe will start the emulator from there. So you can start your emulator. You can also launch your emulator. You can create a new AVD like what you do. You click new here, create a new one, right? Similar things. You can also do it from the command line. So if you go down here, you might wonder when do you do all these things, but you will do this whenever it becomes a necessity. If your machine hangs or something, um, if your Eclipse hangs, for example. Okay, so if I want to create a new thing, I can specify, but I need to specify whatever I would want to do here. Okay, and there is some more which I have missed, like the target, what kind of target device I'm looking for. If I say target QVGA, click. Okay, so it says it's already existing. So if instead I say QVGA1, for example. Okay, so let's check what is that we have. List targets. So let's check the name. So basically you can try this Android presenter. You see it's waiting for further commands, like, and here it takes you to the manager. Okay, so you can SDK manager comes in. If you just click Android, right, if you put Android create and check what happens. Okay, gives me various options. You can check what are the things I can create AVD. You can create a Android virtual device in the command. Okay, like this. Then you have to specify the various options you want to specify. You can provide a name for that and target ID of the new AVD. Okay, what is the target? So if you go down to your it will give you targets here. You can see this is the target. You can either say Android space 4.4 or Google or 4.2.2. So let's go down here. Let's go back. Instead of QVGA, we'll specify Android 4.2.2. Okay, so this has become like a dual option. So let's put it like this. So we have to list our target. We have to see what is the target name they have. Appropriately, we can specify. So I have to write like this. Okay, so let's say my target is Android-19. Okay, now it is asking me, do you want to create something with the hardware profile? So all what you do here, you can do it there in the command. That is the idea I'm trying to show you here. So any command you want to know, you can practice, you can test it up here. So these are few options. Okay, let's talk about something else. So now we know how to install packages, how to uninstall packages, how to start an application, stop an application. And when you do applications, you can also see the log files. When you have an application, it generates what is called as a dex file. If you go into the BAAD 038, go into the bin folder, you will find it as a classes.dex. Let's say I want to see the contents of this file. How to see it? So we can download a package dex to jar, which is also available in your Moodle. So I have downloaded, I've extracted it here. So if I go down here, okay, there we have, so D to J, you will have text to jar, this is the one. And then I have to specify the path for this file. So let's say, I'm going to say Bukhari courses CPIT 490 practice pad038 bin, then classes dot dex. So I'm giving dex to jar with this command here. Okay, so now it is actually converting it into a jar file. Okay, so if you want to see what are the contents of it, so I have to go down to my downloads, this folder here. This is the file. Now I can right click and then just open it in 7-zip or any other thing to see what is inside my text file. You see, it's all collection of class files. Okay, this is the text file. It also contains the Android support SV4 library. Basically, the support v4 comes from here. If you go to your Eclipse, you go to the bin folder, sorry, the libraries, Android 4.2 and Android private library, you find this library. Okay, this is the jar file which is also included in your text file. So if you want to see the contents of your text file, you can use dex to jar, which is a zip file. You download, extract it, and you run from there. So this is how you see. Next one, if you want to convert a class file, you know how to compile using Java. On the command line, we use Java. Then you can put various options to compile. And then when you compile it, you create a class file. So after getting the class file, this is the process here. If you go down to slide number 73 in our first chapter. Okay, so you'll find you have your Java compiler, compiling everything. Then you want to convert it into a dex file. For this purpose, you have a command called dex command. So let's see how to run this command. So this command is actually available in this folder here. Okay, so again, if you go into ADT folder, go into SDK, you will SDK build the tools, you have the version number, and then you will find the command dx command. Okay, so go there and you can put this command like you can use the command. So let's do the command from here. Okay, so let's paste it. So it's like dex. It gives me some few errors. Let's see. There are some mistakes here in this. Basically what you got to do is this, it should not be in 2 lines, so it should be a single line command. So copy from here all the way to the end. So just copy it, go down here, delete everything you have typed before, open a new line, paste it here. Okay, this is the command. It's dx. You are generating the dex file. Then it says verbose, because verbose gives me the details. My output file is test.dex. You can give any name, and this is the path. You can see D, Miwari courses, CPID 490 practice, and this is the 36 folder. Let's talk. We are using 38, so let's go to 38 and bin classes folder. Okay, so if I go down, click enter, so it is generating the file now. So if I put the here, you will find my test.dex is created here. Okay, so you can access your test.dex, which is available here. This is a file. Now if you want to see the contents of this file, you can use dex to jar, and then you can open it. Okay, so this is how it creates a text file, a dex file. So it is using dx. So if you want to see the various options of dx, just press dx and enter. It will give you all the details of dx. Okay, so how to use this command and so on and so forth. Verbose, can also get dump and so on and so forth. So these are some of the basic commands. Okay, there's also yet another command which talks about APK, AAPT. Let's see about this command here. Let's see, where is it? Okay, this is the command AAPT. I'm accessing 36 by the way at this point. So it gives me the contents of the APK file. So you have to provide the path to the APK using AAPT command. So if you want to see further details, basically use L here. AAPT L means just listing. Okay, so if you see our slide, you see AAPT is the command used to generate art.java. It's used to compile few things and so on. Right, so you can do many things here. There are a lot of options available. We are not going to every option here, but we just want to know how to use these commands. commands. So this is yet another command you can use. So you'll find commands available at this folder, bin build tools, SDK build tools, and the version number. Inside you will find the commands like dex dump. If I use a dex dump command right now, let's see, if I use a dex dump, it will just display the contents of the dex file. Okay, so you can like this dex.dexdump.exe and the path to your dex file. So if you press enter, it keeps going. Okay, it just displays you the file. Obviously it won't give you the actual files in detail, but it will tell you what is inside in a format, in a different format. So these are few commands which you can practice, by which you will know how to use this. So basically it's a summary here. Summarize, we say we are learning about ADB commands. We are also discussing about Android, how to create your own virtual devices, how to check your devices, how to use AAPT, how to convert a class files into dex. By the way, in the class file we actually gave a folder, because in that folder there are many class files. So if you go down to such a folder like here, classes, you see it has many files here. Okay, and there are files which are with r dot something. This r is generated by the r.java file, which is auto generated file. So if I go here to the generated folder in Eclipse and I remove my r.java, you will see this file will be auto generated immediately, because I have an option here, build automatic. Project is build automatic, so it gives me the file again. So this is the file that is actually compiled. You get the r.java, and inside it has many options, many classes inside, and each of the classes are also generated here. So you will find like r $symbol at attr diamond and so on and so forth. Also you have this build config file, which is this file here, okay, which is also auto generated. We don't do much things on this file as well. Don't mess these files around, just leave them as they are. And then we also have which is our class file, which is our Java file converted. It's also compiled, so you get the class file there. One important thing, this r.java file always depend on this Android manifest file. Let's say I go and change the package name here, let's say to A for example, and then I save it. Now if you go and check, it was going to change things. Okay, give it few minutes, then you will see it would have changed things around, right? You see it is saying, should I launch? I say okay. You will find my under gen it becomes 101A, but my main program still is with the same name. So the r.java is impacted by what is called as a manifest file. Even if you change things in your main program, if you don't change in the manifest file, it will not change the r.java. It can give you a lot of trouble later on. So be careful with what you are doing here. With that, we conclude this session. Thank you very much.